Hi everyone, so in this video we are going to make some slight alterations to our structure of the main function, and to be more specific, what we are going to do is we are going to pass some arguments to main and then receive them right here. So we've already looked at how functions can take parameters, and the reason I left this for now is because one of the arguments is a string array. And using main just like this is of course completely fine. We've been doing it till now, but just in case you need arguments that are going to be passed to main, you can add them here, and the arguments that are passed are already predefined. So the first argument is an int, which we usually call args for arguments, and then it's a string array which we call argv. And we've already looked at this syntax of making a string array in the previous video. So if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch it now. So this is the complete syntax of main, and let's at this point just do a printf %d and args. So let's just leave it like this now, and let's try compiling our program. So gcc arguments to main.c -o arguments to main, and as you can see it compiled correctly. So let's try running this now, and the way I can give arguments to main is to just mention some argument right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say hello. That's my only argument, and if I hit enter now, as you can see I've got a 2 here. And what really happened here is something like this. When I ran this program, I wanted to give it an argument hello, and this hello is treated as a string, and that gets entered into this argv, which is a string array. So that gets added there, and this args is automatically passed to this main, which is basically the number of arguments. And this is actually slightly surprising, because why did it give me 2 when I only passed one argument, which is hello? And that's basically because the first argument, so argv0, will always be the name of the file itself. So let's actually try printing that out as well. So what we're going to do is we do a printf %s and argv0. So let's try running this now. So I just compile again and run it again with the same argument hello, and as you can see the first argument was arguments to main, which is the name of my file, the name of my executable file that I ran. So that's always the first argument. So at index 0 it will be the name of the file, and my actual arguments start at index 1. So let's try printing index 1 now, and let's run this again with the same argument hello. So as you can see I've got hello right here. So that's how we can pass arguments to main, and an advantage of using our string array this way is that we can pass as many arguments as we want. So let's try making this 3. So I'll have to pass 3 arguments here. So let's just try it out with something like this is computer programming, and I hit enter. So as you can see it gave me computer right here, and the number of arguments was 5. That's because this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. And at number 3 I had computer, because this is at 0, 1, 2 and 3. So that's basically how arguments to main work, and that's basically about the structure of main. But at this point I also want to mention something else. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but it's fine if I mention it now as well. So let's get rid of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a scanf and a %d and some n. So let's just declare n here. So int n, and let's just print out this n again. So this is a pretty simple program. So I should actually have an ampersand here and a semicolon. And what I'm going to do is in the directory that I have my arguments to main, I'm going to create another file, and let's just name this file input.txt. That's my file name, and here I'm just going to say 3, let's say. That's the input that I want to give. And let's go back to our terminal, and let's compile this program. And what I'm going to do now is I want this file's contents to act as the input stream for my program. So what I want is that this scanf should take the 3 from here. So that's what I want. And if you've used CodeDam, you've probably given it a custom input, and that custom input basically acts as the input stream, and that's exactly what I want to do here. So this is kind of like the box which has my custom input, and this should go to this scanf right here. So that's what I'm going to do, and to do that all I have to do is just say use the angular bracket or the less than symbol, and then just do input.txt. And if I hit enter now, as you can see, it prints out the 3 right here. So that's how CodeDam does this as well. So if you haven't tried out the platform yet, make sure you go and try it. It's an amazing platform. So this is another thing that I wanted to mention, and this is not the same as giving arguments to main. This is basically this file acting as the input stream for my program, and similarly I can also have an output stream. So what I can do is I can just do this and then do output.txt, and if I hit enter now, as you can see, I've got no output here, but there was another file created right here. So if I open this, it gives me a 3 here, and let's try changing this to a slightly bigger number, and let's try running it again. So I don't even have to compile this again because I didn't make any changes to my program. I just changed my input. So I hit enter right here, and if I go into my output.txt, as you can see, I've got that same number here. So this is another thing that I wanted to mention. And in the next video, we are going to be starting with file handling in C. We are going to be looking at how we can open files, how we can perform different operations, how we can write to a file, how we can append to a file, and all of that. So I'll see you there.